What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ajen back again for another Echoes of Mana video, and for today I will be talking about all of the memory gems that are currently available in the game. I will be reviewing them and I will tell you my honest opinions about them and who benefits the most out of them. And credits to Meow from the Echoes of Mana Discord server for putting up this very well made spreadsheet. This is the only Echoes of Mana global database as of now, as of finding. There are no other database out there. So, huge credit to Meow. So, let's begin. Here we have Machine Golem Shuffle. This is a 4-star rarity with a base of 103 HP and a base int 50. And then this tab here is for the if you max level them. So the max HP that you can get from this memory gem is 820, 200 strength, 160 con, yeah, etc, etc. Just look at it one. And the most important are the passives. Memory gems are pretty much good not only for their bonus stats but for their passive as well. So this Machine Golem Shuffle has a passive of special technique damage plus 20%. Pretty nice, pretty good, because special technique damage are one of the best damaging skills that you can get from a unit. And this is from Gacha, of course. This is a 4-star from Gacha. So now, who is the best, who can benefit the most out of this Machine Golem Shuffle? Basically, your magical DPS, because it has a very high intelligence stat here. And intelligence stats are mostly good for your magical DPS. Intelligence also is a factor for healing, but they are not that you will not benefit the most out from this passive, because this is a damaging passive skill, and this benefits the most from the magical DPS like Angela, for example. Okay, next, the tail begins. Base HP 1037. You can already determine, just judging by the base stats here, who is it better? Who is the units that benefits the most from this memory gems? So the tail begins. This is also a 4-star. Restored HP amount plus 30%. Then normal attack damage plus 30%. This is usually good for tank and for healer, which is Sumo, because Sumo is a physical attacker and also a healer. And I think this memory gem is basically well made for Sumo. Next, we have Sword from Above, one of the most highly rated memory gems out there. It has a base strength and 40 constitution, which is makes you take less physical damage from the enemies. And this strength is the one that gives you higher physical damage to the enemy. So this is strength and constitution based memory gem card. So its passive is skill damage plus 20% and 30%. Skill damage is different from special technique damage. Just take note on that one. So this one is pretty good for your physical DPS, in my honest opinion, because of the strength stats that you can get here. Basically, this one is pretty good for Riz and Duran and some other physical DPS that you have. Those two are just examples. They are not. This is not limited to just the two of them. So I hope I am clear with that one. Next, we have here Rulers of the World with a base MP and base int. So this one probably is for a healer. Yes. While field inactive, recover MP plus 20 every 10 seconds. I'm not really a fan of the off-field passive, because I usually don't switch to my sub units, but I think this is good for manual play when you want to, especially when you always play with the main and the sub units. This one is pretty good. Next, the Chosen One, 4-star with a base HP and then strength stats. So most probably for a tank. On stage starts, special technique gauge plus 50% at max unleash 70%. This passive is not good for me because, for example, Riz and Duran has a passive skill on their first unleash that starts the battle with their special technique gauge already full at 100%. So you cannot fully utilize this one on those kinds of characters that has a ST gauge at the start of the battle with 100%. So this one is kind of useless, but the stats is pretty good because the HP that you can get here and max the strength is pretty high. So this is good for a stat stick memory gem. Next, we have Little Spirit Pay, 4-star also with strength and int. This is a hybrid because it is increasing strength and int base. This is probably good for Popoy, the 4-star version, because Popoy 4-star version can do physical and magical damage. And then the passive is pretty good because Mega Spirit magic damage plus 30%. This is one of the probably the highest nuke for your for your team, the Mega Spirit magic damage. And this memory gem increases that damage further to 30% and up to 40% at max unleash. And this is a gacha obtainable only. Next, we have Seamless Synergy, base HP and luck. This one is free, yes, from the pre-registration reward. So this is a party-wide passive. This is pretty good. I think this is the only memory gem as of now that has a party-wide buff. So on foe defeat, 20% chance to recover HP. 20% chance is pretty low, but it is what it is. This one is pretty good for your sub-units, the one that you mostly do not use. Because this affects the whole party, not just the one equipping it. Just take note on that one. Next, we have the 3-star Seekers of Mana. Base strength, 30, and luck. And then, there's no more at max level. There's no more, only the strength, which is kinda low, 240, compared to the 4-star, which are at max level has 400. So, when targeted, damage taken, minus 20%. This one is good for your tank or your frontliners, usually the sword users like Duran, Sumo. And then we have Sangar, Malebodon of Flame. So base MP and strength. This one on fire attack, normal attack damage plus 20%. This one is for fire element users, just like 4-star Popoy. And yes, next we have 3-star int base and spirit base. At max level, only the spirit was raised, not the intelligence. So this one is for your magic tank because spirit reduces the damage taken from magic attacks. If you don't know, so on magic attack, damage plus 8%. This one is for magic attackers also. There are only very few magical attackers in this game that are really good, like Angela. Who else? I can't think of anyone else. Then we have Buju Breakout. HP and MP. The stats that you can gain from at max level is pretty low, but it is what it is. This is also from Gacha. While field inactive, single target gauge plus 8%. I'm not really fan of this one, as I've said earlier. The off-field passive, I'm not really a fan of this one, but it's okay. Next, we have Victory High Five. 280 max HP. When HP, this is one from the event Trail to the Toughest, the currently ongoing event that we have right now. So when HP 90% or higher, skill damage plus 45% versus magical enemies. If you can fully dodge the enemy's attack and you can stay above 90%, then this one is pretty good. But unless you are dodging master at dodging, then This one is pretty good, but if you're not master at dodging, then this one is kinda bad. It has its ups and downs. Next, set up for adventure. This one is a pre-memory gem. Yes, clearing chapter 1. Recovery amount plus 30%, then up max level plus 50%. So holder receives more healing. This one is usually better for your healer to put on, like honeycomb. Next, who burst the sword. This one also is pre HP and when self only, self buff. Another off-field buff, passive. Recover HP. I'm not really a fan of this one. It's okay, but I think you have better option. Especially the stats are really not that good. And then Armored Inferno Assault. So this one is strength and constitution base. Pretty good for your physical DPS, especially the sword user. So when HP percent or lower, damage taken minus 20%. Yes, for your tank like Duran, Sumo, pretty good for them. Shadow on Soaring Wings, Int and Spirit for healer. Single target gauge 25%. Meh. This kind of passive is usually meh. Because as I've said, there are units that starts the battle at 100% special technique gauge already 100%. Next, we have Briar Burrow Fairy Boss. So, int and lock base. While field inactive, recover MP. Another off-field passive. Clear chapter 5. This is free. The tower on high, 72 HP, 12 MP. MP cost, minus 10%. Clear the free also from the tower. MP cost minus 10% is good for your units that spam their skills, like the healers like Honeycomb. He can spam his on-field healing skill, and it reduces the MP cost. So this one is probably good for Honeycomb or any magic attacker that can spam their skills. Next, a Bitter Farewell, strength and HP. Okay. What is this? On paint, special technique gauge plus 40%. Might be good for your support main character. A branch bestowed. This is int base and lock base. So damage taken minus 15%. Pretty good for your healer because it has a int base stat here, and you have some reduced damage. Might be also good for your magic DPS. Okay, next, a Curious Creeping Vine with strength base 30 and then int base. This is a hybrid again. Hybrid stats, as you can see, strength and intelligent. When combo, 30 plus, damage 8%. If you are very good at building up combos, then this one is pretty good. Next, we have a Heated Situation. 29 con, int 30. This one is for healer or magic attacker. And this is also another off-field passive, which is really I'm not a fan of. Next, Riwi Big Jump. I hope I pronounce it correctly. MP and int base. Then at max level, only the int gets boosted. Mega Spirit Magic damage plus 20% for light ally. This one is good for Charlotte 3-star. As you can see, Charlotte is the one featured here. Maybe this one is pretty well made for Charlotte. Next, all I have left. MP 11, strength 30, then at max level 240 strength, only the strength increases. On win attack, single special technique damage plus 15%. This one is pretty good as your budget memory gem for your Riz, because Riz is win attack, and then her special technique damage is pretty strong. So it will further boost Riz special technique damage by 15%. It's pretty good. As you can see here, Riz is on the memory gem art. Mostly, the units that you can see on the art are pretty much says that this memory gem are for those units. Next, best quest for your buck. HP and luck base. XP plus 2%. This one is good for raising podders or raising your units, but once you raise your units, you will not use this one except for your podders. I use this one a lot for my podders. Next, we have Big Bad Werewolves. HP and strength base. So on blunt attack, damage plus 8%. Blunt attack is usually for flail and rod users. So mostly for healers. But the strength is kind of weird because usually those healers and rod attackers are usually in base. And next we have Hayo Mech Rider Away. So strength and constitution also. This one on piercing attack, damage plus 8%. So this one are good for spear users or spear users and bow type users. Any spear type users will benefit from this one. I won't hear it. Strength base and spirit base. Okay, on slash attack, damage plus 8%. These are for your sword users and axe users. Next, it's the little things. Int base and HP base. Then, its passive is on damage taken. Special technique gauge plus 5%. So, you will refill your special technique gauge when you get damage taken. Okay. But it has but it has no stats at the max level, so this one is kinda bad. Masterful Merchant, Lucre, okay, for farming Lucre. This one is good if you're farming Lucre. But the best way to farm Lucre, guys, is just sell your memory upgrade materials. The low tiers. Next, we have PT Peddlers. Int base and spirit base. Okay, on Poe defeat, recover MP plus 5%. Okay, pretty good. You have a MP region here. But this one is not good for boss fight because usually boss fight only has one enemy. So this one is not good. Next, run for it. 11, 30, 11 MP strength 30, then only max strength raised. On dark attack, skill damage plus 50%, best use for your dark element unit. The win in our sales, 11, 30, 240. On earth attack, special technique gauge boost rate plus 15%, good for Duran. Next, we have Buscab's Great Escape. MP 11, 30 int. So this is an int based memory gem. On water attack, absorb damage, 3% of damage. This is lifesteal. Pretty good for your Angela. Since it has intelligence stat, and also Angela is a water. The 4-star version of Angela, by the way. So you have a lifesteal, pretty good sustain for your, because Angela is very squishy. So you might as well have some HP sustain with this lifesteal passive. Next, we have White Dragon Child. HP base and int base. This one on Poe defeat, recover HP. Okay, it's an okay passive. Next, we have the 2-star. Mostly, you're not gonna use this 2-star. But if you don't have anything else, especially at the start of the game, you don't have any more other option, then you might as well equip this one just based from the stats. But at max level, they don't have stat increase, so it's not really worth raising these 2 stars. But you can get their passive to work, like this one. Mega Spirit Magic Damage, 15%. For Shiba. For Pamela, off-field passive, not really good. Pelican skill damage, this one is okay. Damage taken for tanks. Special technique damage for your DPS. Initial special technique gauge plus 25. Meh. And that's all about the memory gems. Again, all credits for Meow for preparing and publishing this pretty well-made global database for Echoes of Mana. It is really much appreciated. So, thank you to Meow. And that's it for me for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you could help me grow my channel more. And thank you to everyone who are supporting my channel. I appreciate every one of you. Until next time, peace!